Hey, it's Gothy, and I'm here to do my very late, but still relevant, September cross-stitch tag, and also just some updates. So, people who've been following me know that I got sick about 2 weeks ago, so I've been kind of taking it easy to recover. I still have a little bit of a cough, so hopefully I don't have a coughing fit mid-video or anything. But yes, I'm going to finally do this tag. I've had it written out to do for a while, it's just I got sick, so the last 2 weeks have been a write-off completely. So to start with, my favourite DMC. I should have got this out earlier. Let me just duck down and be really unprofessional about this whole thing and move things out of the way from where I've put them while I'm filming. Oh god, so many things. Alright, favourite DMC. I have a couple, and I know the ones I'm thinking of. I've just got to find them in here. Okay, there's one of them, and it's actually a blue, and it's 995, yeah? And it's kind of, it sort of looks like, I've always thought of it as like a metallic power blue type of thing, and it's really nice. I don't know how well that focused, but that's it from that box. So that can go back down and it's placed on the floor without crushing things, preferably. I have to clean my room up, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. I also like 699, which is a green, which really should come as no surprise. And actually, I'm curious. Okay, so my hair is almost the same as that colour at the moment. So that's actually kind of cool. I'm completely okay with that. So yes, this one's kind of like a light foresty green, and I like it. I'm not very good at describing colours, just as a heads up. Let's see. It's already in here. This is my mixed up box, so these two come to me. This one and the other one go. Right, so I also like these two, and these two are some of the specialty DMC threads. That's come unwound. Why is it unwound? I haven't actually stitched with these ones. I imagine they would be a pain in the arse to stitch with. So this one's a very vibrant fluoro light green. It's kind of bent too. And that's kind of goes to show how long I've had them. A long time and not stitched with them. I might put that on a new bobbin later, because that's not a good thing. Get back in the box, please. And yeah, this one is a darker green. This one's a really soft, it's like a really soft one, and as you can see it just goes all over the place, so that's probably why I haven't stitched with it, because it's probably a big pain in the ass to stitch with. But that can go back in its home. What else is in this one? They're not all in order at the moment. This box is just kind of random threads while I'm waiting for my other boxes to arrive so I can sort them. And apart from that, I also like one of the variegated ones. So this one's 125, and it's these light greens to a mint green. That's probably one of my favourites as well. So yes, lots of things that are awesome. So those are probably my favourite DMCs, or out of the ones I have anyway. I also have some gold ones somewhere that are kind of cool. I bought metallic thread, so that's for a project, and never used it before, so we'll see if it's still one that I like afterwards. So the next one is, do you stitch for Christmas/winter? And if so, have you started? Well, in Australia Christmas is in summer, and right now we're a month into spring, and it hit like 33 degrees today, and I am not okay with that because I freaking hate summer. I live in the worst place ever to not like summer. I'm very prone to heat stroke, so I usually don't get a lot of stitching done in summer unless I have air conditioning. So I'm probably going to be setting that up this weekend because it's supposed to be at least 34 degrees tomorrow, and I mean, we're not even in summer yet, we're still in spring, so yeah. As for the whole Christmas thing, I don't celebrate it. I'm not a fan of Christmas. I don't like it at all, pretty much. So I don't really stitch for it. I don't stitch for winter. It's never really been my thing. Usually if I usually have a drawer with projects that I've completed, so if someone does give me a gift and I feel obligated to give them one back, I usually just give them something I've stitched, but I don't stitch specifically for that purpose. I'm a Grinch. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm a Grinch. I hate Christmas. I'm actually already really pissed off about it because there are a lot of stores that already have Christmas decorations for sale, and there are a few places that already have Christmas displays up. It's September, guys. There's still months away. Like, just stop it. Seriously, I hate Christmas. Do you like to read? Maybe just a little. That's bookshelf number 1. That's top to bottom. Bookshelf number 2 is over there, which is everything but the bottom shelf, which is just other stuff. And then I have 2 piles of books over here because I've been trying to sort my bookshelves to make them a little bit more sense and to see if I can fit some more books in there. As for how many books I have on my go over here on my little Kobo e-reader, I have about 1.4 thousand books in there, so let's get in there. And this is it. You can see my e-reader doesn't actually fit in this case. I'm going to be modifying the case because it's a Spider-Man case and I must have everything Spider-Man because I love Spider-Man. It's got comics on the back too, which is cool. Whoa, cable stuck to arm. Okay, and as for my physical book collection, we'll put it this way. I have to use an app to keep track of the books I already have because I got to a point where I just started doubling up on books at book sales. So I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but at the moment I have 471 books. That's just in my fiction collection. It doesn't include any of my gaming books, my comic books, my graphic novels, or the couple of non-fiction ones that I have. So I'm chugging along there. So what am I reading at the moment? At the moment I'm reading a couple of ebooks. I'm not reading any physical books yet. I haven't picked something to start reading. So I'm reading Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick, which is a new release. I got it as an advanced copy from NetGalley, so I've been reading that on my computer at the moment. And I'm reading... Let me just pull up my Goodreads. I have it all on Goodreads. When it will load. Okay, so I'm also reading Pleasure Unbound, which is book 1 of the Demonica series by Larissa Ione. So it's a paranormal romance one. Sorry. Trying to stop myself from coughing. So, apart from that, I'm also reading The Maze Runner by James Dashner. So I'm about 40% through that, and I'm actually possibly going to go watch that movie tomorrow night. I don't know whether it's going to be that or Sin City: A Dame to Kill for yet. It'll depend on movie times. So that's what I'm reading so far. I have read a few books in the last couple of days though. So in the last couple of days I've read Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. It's a romance book. It's actually pretty good. Basically I like to pick up romance books occasionally because they're usually pretty quick to get through. So that's always been good. I've also read the first 2 books from the Bane Chronicles, which is What Really Happened in Peru and The Runaway Queen, and they're by Cassandra Clare and Maureen Johnson. And that's kind of focusing on some of the past adventures of Magnus Bane from the Mortal Instruments world. The world, what are they? Shadowhunters? Yeah, Shadowhunters. Apart from that, I've read Requiem and Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver from the Delirium series. I've read Unravel Me and Ignite Me by Tori Hamafi, which is part of the Shadow Me series. I've read... I'm not sure it is. It's over there. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, which is a copy I won from a book website, which is awesome. And I think that's all I've read so far. That's been in the last like 2 weeks. Yeah, so I read a lot. One of the little random things about me is that because of my schizophrenia, I have a hard time doing some things, like maths is just completely out of my reach, which is funny because I do count and cross stitch, but I cannot maths to save my life at all. But reading, the average reading speed for a normal person is about 250 words a minute. I average about 650 words a minute, and can understand and comprehend up to 1,000 words a minute, so that's probably one of the few upsides to having schizophrenia, is I just go through everything. I've always been a reader. So, super large book collection. I also do some of the booktubing stuff, so if you are interested in books and reading and stuff, you can watch those other videos of mine. And I restarted my video to make sure it wouldn't cut out. So the last part of the September cross stitch tag is 3 random facts about yourself. I was kind of not sure what to pick here, because, yeah, I don't know. But, for anyone that doesn't know, I have some health issues. I have some minor health issues, which are things like sinuses, and I get psoriasis breakouts. But then I have a mental illness. I have paranoid schizophrenia, and I also have some degenerating knee conditions, and I am losing the ability to walk. So there's that. So I've been an unmedicated schizophrenic for 13 years. I self-manage. One of the reasons I think I really got into cross-stitching was because it helps with that. It just helps to be able to have something to do with my hands all the time. And apart from that, music, you know, and just being aware of, not necessarily my triggers, because they change all the time, but just being aware of how to deal with things when shit happens. You know, whether it be shutting myself away from people for a while, or needing to destroy something. That happens a lot, actually. Yeah, so I've been dealing with that on my own for 13 years. And my knee conditions, they cause me a shitload of pain. Basically I'm in constant pain. It just spikes every so often depending on good day, bad day, knee popping out, knee popping back in, that kind of thing. And I have been dealing with that for, God, probably about 10 years it's been going. So it's a degenerating condition, so it started off just as some basic knee pain every so often, and then just kept getting worse and worse and worse till I got to the point now where walking to the end of my driveway to check my mail is painful, like really painful. Sorry, I burped. I'm gonna cut that out. So the other, this is more of a pain in the ass thing, but it's related. It's I have medicinal allergies, and I get anaphylactic reactions from some very common medications. I've had anaphylactic reactions to some antibiotics. to Panadol and Nurofen. Also, there was one that had codeine in it that I had a reaction to. And I've had allergic reaction to antihistamines. So what this all means is that my conditions cause me a lot of pain. They cause me to not sleep very much, and I'm very prone to things like migraines and stuff. And basically I deal with those on my own. I am currently on a do not medicate order, so I can't take anything, which is why it's taken me 2 weeks to get better from this really, well, fairly small virus, because when I do get sick, like really sick, I can't take anything to help the process along, so I just gotta wait for my body to deal with it on its own. So it usually takes a while. It also means I have to be very careful, so I don't go outside much, because sinuses means that I'm prone to sinus headaches and stuff like that, where it just sits right at the front, and pollen. I'm allergic to pollen, and yeah, I just don't go out much because I don't want to pick things up from people. Second random fact, it's actually sort of related to that one. I'm just kind of making these up as I go along, so like I said, I don't know what to pick for these, but so in Australia, schooling is set up so you start with kindergarten, and then you go to year 1 through to year 6, and that's your primary school. So kindergarten to year 6 is primary. Then you have year 7 to year 10, which is high school, and then in year 10 you sit for the school certificate, which is all the end of year exams and stuff. And then you can go on to year 11 and 12, which is like higher school, and then at the end of that you get the higher school certificate, and that's when you can do when I was in school it was called a UAI, and it was a University Admissions Index. So if you did certain courses, you qualified, and that would mean that your results in the exams would give you a UAI, and that UAI could get you into courses that needed a certain benchmark to get into. So no, explaining that because I actually missed out on doing the uni course that I wanted to do. So I went through to year 12, and I did from year 8 until year 12 on scholarships with my school. I was a high achiever in most of my classes. Maths was the exception, so I was very glad in year 11 and 12 when maths was not compulsory and I could just drop it and never have to worry about it again. So I worked my ass off for year 11 and 12. In hindsight, there was a class I probably shouldn't have picked. I picked dance because at the time I didn't know what was going on with my knees, and I could have picked something else that would have been more useful considering I'm going to end up in a wheelchair, so I'm kind of pissed at past Gothy about that. But I woke up the morning of the first HSC paper, which is always English, and I woke up quite early because my parents were going to Dubbo for a funeral. And I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm fucking tired, you know, I haven't fucking slept much. And I felt something like a pimple on my back. And I'm like, oh hey mum, can you check this pimple out on my back? It just seems really big and I'm not sure. And she's kind of had a look, and then she looked at like the rest of my back. She goes, oh, that's not a pimple. And I'm just kind of going, what? The fuck? Like, what? And I think you have chickenpox. So we went down the hospital. It was like 6:30 in the morning, and the doctor I saw at the hospital wouldn't even stay in the room with me. He came in, had a look at the marks and stuff, and then walked out to write the note to say that I have chickenpox. And I'm freaking out because I'm thinking, fuck, you know, like, not only is my first HSC paper today, all of my exams were in the space of 2 weeks out of the 3 weeks. So I was kind of freaking out. We went up to the high school, and I pretty much got told there was nothing they could do to get me to sit my HSC exams. So we ended up going above the principal at my high school because my principal actually turned around and said, "Oh, well, you should have told us 6 months ago you were going to be sick." And I have never wanted to strike someone more in my life than I did at that moment, because first of all, who knows they're going to get chickenpox on the morning of the first HSC paper? Like, how does that happen? I've never met anyone else who's had that happen to them before. Second of all, really, you want me to tell you in advance? I didn't even know I had never had the chickenpox. Like, this was a whole new thing for me. And then, yeah, we called Department of Education. They kept telling us it had to go through the school, and that there were special circumstance situations where I could still sit my exams, but the school had to set it up, and the school was refusing to. So basically I ended up with estimates for my UAI and for my HSC marks. And because I didn't go to a very high achieving school, they were very low. The UAI was very low because I didn't actually get to do my exams. And that meant that I didn't meet the cutoff for my uni course. So I ended up just kind of getting really pissed off, and I gave up on uni, and I just went straight into working. And now I can't afford to go to uni. I'm probably never going to be able to afford to go to university if the assholes in power in Australia end up deregulating uni fees, because fuck that. And yeah, chickenpox ruined my plans for university. So that really fucking sucked. Almost lost my job too, because I had to take 2 weeks off from that as well. But yeah, I never had chickenpox. I've also never had measles. Still haven't had measles. Never had shingles. Never broken a bone. Never needed stitches. Which is actually really surprising, because, you know, medically I'm fucked, you know. So, yeah. More medical facts. Fact number 3. What can I do for fact number 3? Fact number 3. I don't know. I'll just talk about my tattoos. Fuck it. Yeah, so fact number 3, I have 17 tattoos at the moment. As you probably saw in my last video, I muck around with designing them too sometimes. Yeah, so I have, this is really difficult to do. So I have one here, and these two kind of match. This is really hard, because usually I put them together like that. I don't know how visible that is. So, Angel and Devil, I have a voodoo doll that I designed, little cat head. This is Illidan. This is a chibi version of Illidan, and the cat paw is there because I named my cat Illidan, and there was this huge thing, and I was like afraid to have a cat for a few years. So the fact that I now have a cat, and that I now feel safe enough to have a cat without worrying about him, was a huge deal, so I got a tattoo. I have this one up here, which I designed as well. I have a little skull on my collarbone. This one here, I have some text on my back. I have 2 on my lower right leg. I have a zombie pinup on my left thigh, and I have 2 little red back spiders on my hips. So 17, I think that's all of them. Yes, that's all the ones I have so far. And one day I'm hoping to get more, because I want more tattoos. I have very extensive plans for tattoos. I want to have a full chest piece, my sides, both arms are going to be full. I'm going to have a back piece, my right leg. I've got a few pieces planned out for the left leg, but I don't know if it'll be covered. And I want to get the side of my head done as well. So we'll see if that happens ever. Yeah, but I have plans for tattoos. I'm very much into tattoos, and there is a part of me that wishes I maybe learned how to tattoo. So that's my September tag, and it's a lot longer than I had planned, so I apologise about it. So what I'm going to quickly do is just show you the updates on some of the pieces I've been working on. There's not too much of an update, so hopefully the video won't be too much longer. So just have to move some stuff around because I've been putting things in different places. Oopsies. Oh, that's okay. Alright, so I printed out my first Heaven and Earth design one that I'm going to do. I'm going to go with mini trapeze first. I've decided to go 2 threads over 1 on 25 count, so that will be an interesting one. What's at the back there? Oh, recipe. Okay. So I was actually quite surprised at how small this printed out, so that was, it's going to be interesting to stitch that one. So that can go back over on my printer for the time being. So I've done no work on Arthas. I've kind of neglected Arthas this month, but I finished some more of this one, which is, oopsie, which is from the World of Cross Stitching magazine. So I've come across, I've started down here, done some more of the outlining and a few little bits as I go along. So I think I have most of the borders and stuff finished. There's still a few little bits around here. There's still one that goes here somewhere, and finishing off here. But then I've just got to fill it in. So I've been working on that one the last couple of days. And that can go sit back down there for the time being. As for my gorgeous Winter Friend one, I've started filling in more of the bear, so he's starting to take shape. I've done most of her dress, I've done her shoes and her stockings. She still doesn't have a head, or hair, or arms. So there's that. And this is a little one that I started on like 2 days ago. I did most of this this morning because I stayed up to help my housemate get off to work early to make sure he didn't forget anything, make him breakfast and stuff because he's driving from Sydney to Newcastle this morning. So he left at like 6:30 this morning. So this is a little Deadpool one. It's kind of off-center because I measured it off what the pattern said, and it's actually a little bit bigger than the pattern, so, or what it says on the pattern. So that's in progress. All of the outline is done. I've just got to do the red. It's going to say Deadpool behind him, and yes, that's just a quick little project that I've been working on. And I think that's all I've cross-stitched so far. I haven't done Arthas. I haven't started mini trapeze yet. I haven't done the other 2 little ones. So, I mean, not a whole lot of progress because, as I said, I've been taking it a little easy. That can go back over there so it's out of the way. And, yeah, that's about it update-wise. Hopefully now that I'm better, I'll be able to get some more stitching done. And I might do another update at the end of this week. I'm not going to film the hand painting tutorial today. I might leave that for a bit. So yes, I'll see you guys later.